Howdy, howdy, beautiful people. Hello, my lovely Erik on the other side, and hello, my lovely Ginger on this side of the veil.
Hello, and Erik says,
Bailey.
"Hi, Mom, I love you."
Ginger Bailey is awesome. You can check her out in the description box below, but do click on the information that is shown on the screen as well. We're going to have a very sad channeling, I believe, here. And Erik, please support Ginger energetically on this one because it's a very sad story about Travis. Born October 21st, 1995, died February 16th, 2009, was a male chimpanzee, I hate that year, 2009, who was raised by and lived with a human family. On February 16th, 2009, he attacked and mauled his owner, Sandra Harold's friend, Charla Nash. Oh my God. So not the owner, but the friend. And it was in Stamford, Connecticut, blinding her, severing several body parts, lacerating her face before he was shot and killed by responding officer Frank Chiafari. All right, questions. You have can you bring in Travis, or have you already brought Travis?
He's actually here. I have Travis. I have, he's with another chimp with him.
Oh.
And then there's also his owners are here.
Oh, okay. All right.
His human parents is what the human parents
Oh,
is how I,
are they dead? Or
yeah, they're with them. They're with them.
okay. What triggered you, Travis, or what did Charla Nash do to cause you to attack her? Apparently, Charla knew you from when you were a baby.
So first of all, I want to say that it's very interesting getting into an animal's psyche, like the way they think. Okay. It's not human, but they're very close, especially the primates. And there's still a wildness to it, though. There's still like this instinctual energy to it. And so something he's saying is he was very agitated at this moment. Okay, he was agitated, and something that like started the agitation was first of all he's saying something about he didn't feel good, like there was something not right with his system. Okay, there was something not right. There was an imbalance. I feel like an imbalance in the brain, something like he was sick, or an imbalance in the brain. And he was agitated. He was trying to get her attention, trying to get the owner's attention, right? Get attention like a little toddler would, right? Yeah. Trying to, like, having a fit. So before we get to why he snapped, I do want to say something about how his mind is working. Okay. So something that he's showing me is, and he's more communicative like this way than he would be if he was here. So he's kind of showing me with his mind that animals, even though he's so close to a human, he can think like humans and be taught like a human. He says animals don't have that same restraint like a human. Okay. And they also, their minds are more animalistic. And I'm trying to see how he's showing me this. So okay, so he's saying like there is a certain rage that comes up in an animal, okay, that is different than a human. It's a lot different. And then also something real quick he wants to say is that when an animal like him is in his group where they're supposed to be, like with other chimps, there's a certain thing that's taught to them as they grow up to where they belong in their pack, their group. Right. And what they can get away with and what they can't. And then they're also all equal as in size and strength too. Okay. So if two chimps fight each other, and they do, some fight to the death. Yeah. If they two chimps fight together, it's more of an equal ground than a chimp and a human.
Right.
So imagine like that chimp getting angry and upset and snapping, and that's exactly what he did. Now, what aggravated him was
What was the trigger?
The trigger was that it was a territorial thing. So he was already enraged, so he wasn't like he was like upset, like emotional upset, and this rage was building. Okay, he was like so close to snapping. And so I guess she had something that was his.
Oh
And
yeah, that's interesting. Let me tell you ask the next question so you can incorporate that in.
okay.
Was his actions about his toy, or he didn't recognize the person holding the toy? I don't know, maybe Charlotte was holding.
He recognized her. He recognized her.
Okay.
But the thing is, the animals, there's a wildness to them. There's a it's more of an animalistic way of recognizing other humans. Okay. And there's something Erik wants to pop in and talk about after this, but there is a way that they do recognize, and he did recognize her, but it's almost like a territorial, like you have my stuff and
Yeah, my toy. Maybe that was
and he was already annoyed. Okay. So it did have to do with that, but he was already in a rage. And then when he turned and he seen that was his thing, and he snapped. Snapped. And it wasn't just because, oh, that's mine, give it back. Okay. Yeah. It was what she was doing with it.
Taunting him with it, maybe?
I get the way he felt. Yeah. The way he felt about it was teasing. Like, you don't want to tease an animal kind of thing. Yeah. That was kind of the way he took it.
He probably was just being playful, maybe, but.
They were trying to get him somewhere. They were trying to get him to do something.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm hearing. And so, anyway, so he snapped. Now, when a human snaps, okay, and they do, and they kill when they snap.
Yeah.
There's a limit. There's a certain limit to that. There's no limit when it comes to an animal. It's till till they're stopped, or there's no more to destroy. Oh. It's till they stop or no more to destroy. And so even if you try to stop them in the middle of this, you could just like dogs. Yeah. Okay, he's using this for instance. If you try to break up a dog fight, you're probably going to be mangled from that. They're going to attack you because they're in a rage, like their mind is in a rage. So what he's saying, this comes from Travis, what he's saying is he doesn't think like we do. Like there's not a thinking of, okay, I'm ripping a human up right now.
Right.
It's more like a hierarchy type thing. Like he's in a rage. He's not thinking about what he's doing except for he's throwing his fit, and anything in the way is going to get, destroyed. And he's like high. I don't know why he's trying to show me this, but he's like, his mind makes it like he's entitled. Okay. That's right. Like he's entitled to do this. This is what I do. This is what we. Yeah.
All right. Travis, were you protecting it? Was there any part of this that was about protecting your owner, or not? Or was it just
no? He's saying there was some jealousy going on too. There was some jealousy happening at this moment. Remember, they're more in the moment.
Yeah.
Animals are more in the moment. They do now primates, like chimps, they do think a little more like us, but their brains are a lot tinier, and they're more instinctual over common sense type stuff. You know. So he's saying he was jealous. There was a jealousy
of the friendship that Charlotte and Sandra had.
Yeah, and it was just at that moment, like they were together, and he wanted it's almost like, I want my mom and I don't want my mom to be with you.
Oh, got it. All right.
Yeah.
Now, apparently you were under the effect of a Xanax and possibly other medications. Why were you under the influence of medications, and how did they affect you?
Oh, this is interesting. So, the mom, his human mom, what's her name? Sandra?
Sandra Harold.
So she's saying that she gave this to him because it was to help him with something he had going on. He was sick. He was sick, and this was supposed to keep him from getting agitated from being sick. I don't know, not rabies, but something that kind of messes with his mind. Like his mind doesn't feel right. His mind doesn't feel right to me. Like there's something not right there. And like there's a sickness or an infection in it.
Oh,
And so something like that. And so she's saying that she gave him this more than one time, she's done it before. But what he's saying is it worked kind of opposite. Like
that happens sometimes, like Benadryl, same deal.
Yeah, he's saying it works kind of opposite, like it worked opposite on him. So instead of calming him, and antagonized the rage.
Yeah. Okay. Before this incident, what was life like for you, Travis, with the Harold family? Did they mistreat, for example, did they mistreat you in any way?
Not in a sense that humans would see mistreating. Okay. One of the problems is, and this is coming from Erik,
okay,
something he wanted to share. One of the problems he's saying with animals like this, exotic or wild animals that aren't meant to be domesticated, especially when they get to a point where they're beyond controllable. They're bigger, they're stronger, you know. But still, even the smaller ones, there's some of them, not all of the exotic animals, but some of them, especially some that are like primates, that are closer to like human, they have certain living conditions that they're used to. So it is kind of like imprisonment in a way, that they don't have this freedom, right? I'm hearing that he had a weight problem. His diet wasn't right. He was treated like a human. Now that's where that's where the danger comes in, is when they're treated like humans or treated like a part of the family. And so they didn't hit him or mistreat him in that way, how the question's being asked.
Okay, right.
It is kind of cruel in a way for some animals, not all, some exotic animals to be put in with humans and treated like a human, because he's used to being in a certain, like, and I don't want to say like the hierarchy type thing, but there is certain roles that each, chimp plays in their group, in their family.
So apparently he had Lyme disease, which can cause psychotic behavior. So he was a time bomb. So you got it right, Ginger. Of course you get everything right. Okay. I am friends with the doctor who organized the 8 teams of surgeons who reconstructed, Miss Nash's injuries. She had to learn how to coordinate her breathing with speaking. That's how severe her injuries were. Did Travis have a sense of how fragile humans are? And if so, why did he cause such severe injuries? I think we probably answered that. They just don't know when to stop. They just wait.
Right.
Destroy.
Right. In a way to answer that question, in knowing if humans are fragile, what they know is that they can overpower. They know that. They know that they're, that he knows, in a sense, that he's more powerful. It's almost like say you have an ape looking at like maybe a rabbit. You know what I mean? They know, like, you're less than me in strength. I can take you, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So after you were shot, that's so sad, you ended up back inside the house near your cage to die. Travis, did you leave your body prior to passing like humans do? Or did you suffer that gunshot wound?
So the suffering an animal does is not the same as a human, because he's saying you don't have the understanding of it. Like if you or I were shot, at least it'd be like, oh my God, the panic, the anxiety of I'm shot and death is coming. In their mind, in their mind, it's a little different. It's more, he just knows he's hurt, and he wants to get to his home where he feels safe. And that was why he went to his place. And it's so sad. Like this makes me want to cry, because there was a lot done to him before he got shot. He was hit. He was like hit and hurt. And, okay. So she's showing me, Sandra is her name. She's showing me her trying to get him trying to get him off her friend.
Oh yeah,
By
right.
hitting
Oh
him
yeah.
and doing stuff to him that was painful. And in his mind, he don't understand. He thinks, that's his, that's his not job, but that's just what we do. We're animals, we're reacting, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm throwing my fit, So they don't have the capacity to think of the extent of damage that they're doing.
Okay. Oh.
So, yeah, but no, he did. I want to answer that question. He did not leave his body at first, but he also didn't suffer like you think he would.
Oh,
It
good.
was more like just shutting down, slowing down kind of
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
15 months after the attack, Travis's owner, Sandra Harold, died suddenly of a ruptured aortic aneurysm. So, yep, she's on the other side. And I saw her husband, Jerome, passed in 2004. Can you bring her in as well and ask her what is her perspective as a spirit on what happened? For example, if you could also include, let's start with that.
So, shock, horrified, shocked, terrified. She's just naming all these things that she went through about it. So that was here. Okay. Now, from a spiritual point of view, she's saying she sees the spiritual reasons behind these things, not just for Travis and the incident, but also for her friend, what her friend went through. That was also a spiritual contract. There's many little things you go through when you're, having to have, plastic surgery and your body's torn up and you're going through pain and suffering. So this is part of her journey. Okay. And then there's a spiritual reason she says that she sees as the awareness this is supposed to be bringing to people that do house animals that are not, I guess the word would be, she's using the word like controllable, like,
like people have lions, tigers, things like that.
Yeah, right. So plus she's saying like there's something that changes in them when they get adulthood that she didn't know. She didn't think about that or know that, or, she's like, she didn't do enough research about this. It was more like, oh, this cute little monkey's going to be my baby. I'm hearing that it was like almost a replacement for a child that she had lost.
Oh, wow.
Is what I'm hearing. Okay. So it was like her baby. She thought of him like her baby, her son. And that's just a dangerous way, she says, to think about it too. She's agreeing to that.
So the next question I think we've covered, but if you want to elaborate more, was there a spiritual contract between Sandra, Charlotte, and Travis?
There was. And so it's a lot of different things for the personal, each personal person, and then on the whole. So,
all right. Now, do you believe, Travis, that we as humans should have chimpanzees as pets? I don't like to call them pets, call them animal companions. Pet sounds, I don't know, demeaning.
Not in this way, he's saying, not in this way. He shows me, this is interesting. He shows me like, there's animals, including him. He's saying like he was like, would be like in a commercial or whatever, there's animals that they put in commercials, but they're part, if they were kept part of their environment, even if they just had a mate, somebody who's like them, because it's very important for them not to be taken completely out of their element. So that's his outlook
on sanctuary, but hey, come on in, we need to shoot
right like that. Right.
Travis, were you happy living with humans, or did you long to be in the wild, if not on a conscious, on a subconscious level?
So he did like the attention. That's all he knew, because he was an infant when he was with them. So he loved like that they loved him and take care of him. It's all he knew. He didn't know the difference, like I'm missing my kind, but instinctually, like he's like saying instinctually, it's like, it's not what's meant to be. Like you don't have the same lifestyle that you would. And yes, he missed being out running. He didn't get enough exercise, running and jumping and playing. He just didn't have enough of that, being out in the wild. So yes, he did miss that. It was very, very constrictive. He's
Mm.
talking about felt very constrictive.
So, Travis, how do you feel about wild animals being domesticated now? Any kind of wild animal, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my.
Yeah, he doesn't agree with it.
Yeah.
Again, like they should be with their animal types, animal groups, I guess you could call it, because almost all wild animals,
Yeah.
okay, are even birds are part of a group.
Yeah.
And they learn from each other, they learn how to survive, they learn what's allowed, what's not allowed, things like that, and mating too. What I'm hearing from him is he was reaching adulthood
Yeah.
and very close to adulthood, and those feelings come up of looking for a mate. That's instinctual to procreate for animals.
Have you ever been around another chimp in his life?
I'm hearing yes, he has, but it wasn't enough, is what I'm
Oh,
hearing.
yeah.
It wasn't enough. He had seen another one, but it wasn't enough.
Okay. I was wondering, this person asked if they knew, and we covered this, that they were supposed to give up the chimp on or before 8 years old because it turns into an adult and will attack. So that's what you said, that she didn't do the research. Sandra didn't do the research and did not.
Right. Plus the remember that dangerous way of thinking. This is my baby, not an animal. Even though she knows it's an animal,
Right.
but it's more like my baby, my son. There were certain things she knew she had to do, like keeping him contained in the house and things, but he knew how to get away. He knew how to do things like humans. They're very, very smart, and they can learn how to do human things. I'm hearing he even drove a car. He just said he'd even drove a car before. That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing it hurts me to see people that have exotic birds caged. I don't, in little cages. It just really hurts me.
Yeah, there should be more of a like big, like bigger, to where they're going to have more of their environment that they're used to, because usually they stay pretty territorial, but you want it to be a big enough territory where they're feeling like they're within their territory, but they're not contained.
Yes, same with fish. I just don't like it. As long as it's big enough to where they would be in the ocean, that's about the size of the area they would navigate. All right.
Right.
Is there
well, Elisa, also what Erik is saying is taking them out of not just out of their environment, but away from their kind again. That is really important type thing that people don't realize. It's really hurtful and hard for them.
I know. If there are some who will end up having one at home, what advice, Travis, would you give to other owners to avoid a similar situation? Besides, please don't have a chimpanzee.
Right. You really shouldn't, because it's confusing to take that animal, raise it in your, domesticated environment, and then put it back into a world of other chimp. Like, say, if you were to take the chimp and put it back into a world of chimps that hadn't been in it, it'd probably be killed.
Yeah, at 8 years old, they're reaching adulthood, and they could attack. So you're supposed to give them up. Bye, mom.
Right. So don't even start with it. Start with it. And I know there's going to be people that don't agree with this, but this is coming from him, not me, guys. He's the one saying it because it was his life. It's what he lived.
Yeah. Okay. Did this happen to teach us humans to be more careful and respect wild animals? I mean, did this happen in order to teach us to?
It was one of the reasons. Absolutely. It's awareness. This is to bring awareness to wildlife, and in what do you call it? Like capturing them. Keeping in captivity. Also, he was taken from his mom, and what I'm getting is this is his ape mom. His chimp mom.
Is she? Oh, good. Okay.
He was taken from her when he was very, very young, and that's kind of like
3 days old or something. Let me see.
What if someone took your baby right after you had it? They're not puppies. That's what Erik just said. They're not puppies.
Even that. Okay, let me see a little bit more
Puppies
about
are,
these.
but dogs and cats are more bred to be domesticated and be connected to humans. It's different.
Yeah. Well, a bill was introduced because of this. It was reintroduced to add chimpanzees, among other primates, to the list of prohibited wildlife species. They can't be sold or purchased through interstate or foreign sales.
So
But
Susan is
it was
saying that,
introduced, but it was never taken up by the U.S. Senate. Oh my God.
yeah, Susan was saying that this happened. This happened before this incident because there were other chimp incidences that happened. But she's saying that they were overlooked.
Yeah.
They knew that she had this animal, but she was overlooked.
Mm. Travis was born to Susie and Coco, who were imported from Africa to the U.S. in the 70s. Born in Louisiana at a compound.
With other animals like them.
Yeah. Susie, apparently the mom, was fatally shot following an escape in 2001. So the Herald family bought Travis at for $50,000 when he was 3 days old. They named him after Sandra's favorite singer, Travis Tritt. Yeah, interesting. They owned a towing company, and he posed for photos of the shop and ride with a tow truck, seatbelt buckled as he wore a baseball shirt.
He's making a joke that he couldn't sing as good as Travis, but he was close. He's making a joke.
So how was it to see your parents? Did that have any emotional reaction? Was that, or did you not even know them? So
his human parents? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we could ask that too. But his chimpanzee parents, Susie.
He knew on a spiritual level. Yeah. He knew that was who his mother was. He knew who his parents were. Yeah, absolutely. It was nice.
How was it when Sandra, when you met Jerome, who was already on the other side before you, preceded you in death, and then Sandra? How was it like? What was it like meeting them?
So he's showing me like this is cute. Like he's waddling like this, and when he's seen Jerome, he was very happy. He was very close to him. I think he was close to both of them, but there was something like respect.
Okay.
The respect for some reason. There was something, and he knew this was dad. This was like the higher. He had some respect for him. So he was excited to see him. And then with Sandra too, of course, he was excited. It's interesting how this animal, you can communicate better. Like on the other side, Susan's talking about how you can talk to animals and communicate with them. And she just felt so apologetic, about things that, with him, and things that she learned on the other side. Now, we don't in spirit feel bad or, judge ourselves, but there is compassion. You still have compassion, so it was a very good,
reunion.
Reunion.
Was he? Do they hang out, the three of them, or even the five of them with this 8?
They do. They're around each other, just like if you go to the other side and your other animals are with you.
Oh yeah,
like that. Okay. Yeah, they do.
Were you ever a human before you were a chimpanzee in other lives? Another life?
He's saying no.
Okay.
He's saying no.
Did you feel remorse after it happened? Or did you just feel like you wanted to do more harm?
So they don't really have, he's saying, we don't have the same remorse like a human, like I feel bad for doing that. They do have feelings of feeling bad and sad and lonely, and they do have those feelings, but they don't make connections in the way we do with it. Like, I got, like if he was to like hurt Sandra, like say he hit her accidentally or something, it would be more like he did something that he was not supposed to do, but not so much
trouble.
Yeah. Instead of, I hurt her kind of thing.
Wow, interesting.
It's not looked at like that.
Oh, I know recently we have been diving into timelines and the understanding of it. On a different timeline, what would have happened? There's probably infinite timelines.
There's so many with decisions we make. They change continuously. But we're going parallel with all of them. it would have still happened.
Okay.
There still would have
This
been
is the
incident.
contract,
Yes.
right?
Right. Right.
I guess to have a couple more questions. This one's for Erik. Hi, Erik. I love you. Should we get
I love you.
on some rules and regulations regarding exotic pets, animals, or extremely special and independent wildlife? I mean, look at the harm. Like people buy these big boa constrictors and they get too much to handle. They put them in the swamp and they start just disturbing the native animal
Animal life.
yeah.
Yeah. So there should be restrictions, and there are. There are restrictions to a point, but there should, of course, be more. It's interesting. It's Susan's talking about this, how it's with humans, it's all about look what I have, look what I can do, look at me, I'm different, look what my stuff, with humans, it's our stuff.
I got cool stuff. I'm cool. I've got something exotic here.
Yeah. And it's not the way it should be done. It's not how it should be looked at. And it'd be fun to have that, and and it'd be like a baby, and it's not looked at right. It's not thought of right. It's more ego thinking instead of thinking about, well, how's that animal going to feel? And what if this happens or that happens? Then what do you do? Or
what if it gets out of his cage and strangles a snake strangles my 2-year-old? That's happened before.
Right. Or eats them. Erik said. Yeah.
All right, last question. Another question to ask is, as they age, do they experience aggression, Alzheimer's, any similarity traits as a human would at a very late age? So as they age, can they get Alzheimer's?
I like that question. Absolutely. Their brains are wired a lot like ours in a way of the chemistry. They're smaller, of course, but they're more primitive. He's saying it's more primitive, but they do. They get Alzheimer's. They don't get it to the extremes like we do in a way, because you're more like your instincts kick in, is what he's saying. Like instincts will kick in. But yes, they do get things like that.
All right, Travis, is there anything else you want to say? For example, a message for Charlotte, who is still apparently alive and
yeah, of course he's sorry. He apologizes that this happened. So I guess they knew each other before. And he did really like her. He wants her to know that this wasn't like a personal attack. He really did, care, and like animals can care and people, just like dogs, cats and stuff.
Sure.
But there's a line that you draw. You have to draw that line, and there's boundaries, that you don't want to cross.
To threat. All he saw was threat.
Right. Exactly. And it was horrific, he says. It was horrific, is how he's saying it. And he is sorry. And he does wish the best for her. He does. He wishes the best for her.
Anything you want to say to humanity as a whole, or anything? The mic is yours.
So, yeah, what he's saying is, you need to think beyond your own needs as humans. Like you would if you were thinking about like a child you're thinking of, or unconditional love for somebody. You think beyond your own needs, right? You need to do that with animals too, he's saying. And really think it through, and think about what you're doing, and think of the reasons why you're doing it. Why do I want this animal in my life? And really do the research and understand what you're getting into. Some people will just do it and not know what they're getting into. And then these animals, like you said, Lisa, are just taken out to the wild and let go. And they're not going to make it most of the time.
No.
Whether it's a chimp, a bird, or a snake, because they're raised domesticated and they don't have the same kind of when animals, not snakes so much, but animals that are raised around their family, animal family, it's just a lot different. They're trained things, they're taught things by watching them instead of watching a human. So
of course.
Yeah.
All right, Erik, you want to say anything before we close? Or of course, Ginger, if you want to ask something, you are free to do so.
So Erik is just saying, hold on a second. He's being funny.
Of course.
He's got a monkey suit on. He always does that to me. Like I'll just like turn and all of a sudden he's got this monkey suit on. And then Travis is laughing. He's just saying he's just thankful. He's just thankful for you, Mom, and he's just happy to be here and thankful for, everything that to be a part of this. He's happy. He's so happy when we do these kind of things and we help people. And he's also saying that he likes that he can see like how this spreads, like a domino effect when you do something like this, how it spreads out and helps people and helps animals, helps society and things.
I saw a t-shirt the other a long time ago actually, that said, "I love animals," and then on the back it says, "They're delicious." So
Yeah. That's carnivores.
Really. All right. Thank you, Ginger. Y'all check it out in the description box below. By both of you, by all of you. I love you. And I love you, Erik, of course. And
Love you, Mom. And I love you too.
bye.
All right.
Tomorrow.
Bye. See you tomorrow.